Welcome to Civilizations of Ancient Britain, a journey through the forgotten ages of these isles, told in chronological order, from the first footsteps of humans to the rise of ancient civilizations. Every story unfolds in sequence, revealing the people, legends, and events that shaped history. If this journey into the past captivates you, subscribe and share your thoughts and feedback in the comments below. "40,000 to 15,000 years ago, long before Britain had a name, long before kings, castles, or legends, there was only ice, wind, and silence. A vast frozen world stretched across the land. Mountains of ice, towering and relentless, crushed valleys beneath them. Rivers were trapped beneath sheets of frost, their waters imprisoned in silence. The wind howled, a cold voice that carried across plains empty of life. And yet, even here, life endured. From distant lands, across frozen bridges, small bands of humans arrived. They were fragile, yet determined. They followed herds of reindeer, the scent of rivers, and the promise of land newly freed from ice. They carried only stone, fire, and the whispers of their ancestors. Picture them, hunters and gatherers, faces hardened by cold, eyes alert for any sign of danger. Every day was a challenge, the hunt, the storm, the predator waiting in the shadows. There were no villages, no crops, no written words, only survival, only the rhythm of the seasons. Imagine the tension in their world. One moment, the silence of snowfields stretched endlessly. The next, the snap of a branch, the distant roar of a wolf, or the crash of ice falling into a river. Fear was constant, yet so was courage. They learned, they adapted, they tracked the stars to guide their paths. They read the land, listening to its whispers. Every fire they lit, every tool they carved, was a small triumph over a world that sought to overwhelm them. As the ice melted, Britain began to awaken. Rivers carved new paths through fertile valleys. Forests of birch, oak, and hazel began to spread, reclaiming the land. Herds of reindeer and elk moved through the trees. Wolves prowled the edges. And these humans, small, fragile, resilient, walked through this changing world, finding ways to thrive. For them, every river crossing was a gamble, every hunt, a life-or-death struggle. And yet, in those moments of danger, they discovered something profound: ingenuity, perseverance, and the spark of civilization. They built shelters from branches and hides. They crafted tools sharper than the teeth of beasts. They learned to cook, to share, to survive together. Around fires, stories were told, echoes of the past, whispers of things yet to come. And the world changed. The ice continued to retreat. The oceans rose, swallowing the land bridges that had connected Britain to the continent. For the first time, the people of these islands were truly alone, isolated. Their path diverged from the rest of the world. This separation would shape the destiny of Britain for thousands of years. Imagine the tension of that first realization, a rising tide cutting off familiar lands, forcing humans to adapt or perish. They learned to fish, to forage, to navigate rivers. They became stewards of a land that had no guideposts, no maps, no kings, no laws, only the raw, untamed beauty of nature. And yet, even in this harsh, lonely world, there were sparks of wonder. The first humans began to leave marks on the land. Carvings in stone, small objects buried carefully, rituals performed around fire. These were the beginnings of culture, of memory, of the stories that would one day grow into legends. They faced storms that tore forests apart. They encountered predators that could crush a man in a single leap. They endured cold that bit through hides and flesh, and through it all they persisted. The courage of these early Britons echoes still, in every stone, every river, every hill. These people did not know kings. They did not know stone circles or monuments, yet in their eyes burned the first sparks of ambition, of civilization, of the human story. Every step they took, every river they crossed, every fire they lit was a step toward the future. And so, the stage was set. The land of Britain had been shaped by ice, wind, and water. Its people had been tempered by danger, isolation, and survival. From these first footsteps, the echoes of civilization began to rise, faint at first, but destined to grow. This is where the story begins, the dawn of Britain, the first echoes of the civilizations yet to come. And in these echoes, we will trace the journey of a land and the people who gave it life. The echoes of Britain's ancient past have only just begun, from early humans in Britain to kings and queens, to castles, battles and wars, the story that will unfold across the ages. If you've been captivated by this journey so far, subscribe now and share your thoughts in the comments. And don't miss the next chapter, where the story of Britain continues to rise from the mists of time.